And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Mike Bozak's our guest. Mike has been with the Landmark Society of Greater Utica for 25 years plus, very active with the organization, and one of many that are active in the organization. Yes, Mike?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We have some great volunteers.
It's all volunteers,
We're
isn't
an all-volunteer organization, yes, and that makes it difficult, but certainly the people that are involved are very, very dedicated.
Yeah. If somebody wanted to get involved with Landmarks at whatever level, I guess you would take somebody who just wanted to be a member and leave it at that, and going right up to somebody who wants to get involved.
Sure, absolutely. There's many ways to contact us. You could pull one of us over at one of our events or get online. We have a Facebook page, uticalandmarks.org on the web. So there's many different ways to get a hold of us and seek us out, and certainly we'll be happy to talk to you. And we're always looking for new members.
The upcoming holidays is also a traditional time for Landmarks because they do their Christmas ornament.
Yes, and we're winding that down, so we felt that it's going to be 20 years this year that we've been doing the ornament, and not that we've really run out of places to do, but it's kind of run its course, I think. Mm-hmm. So this year our ornament will be number 1, the Munn Castle.
And there we have it right there.
And it's a really fabulously interesting building, and it's got its history, and mm-hmm. It's certainly architecturally very interesting. But we're doing that one this year, and actually we're having a event that highlights it. You can come and see it and all. And we are going to be actually focusing on an exclusive carrier of our ornaments, and that's Colosi's. They've agreed to, they sell the most ornaments for us at all the other events, or all the other venues, I should say, but they're going to be our exclusive dealer mm-hmm. for the ornaments, and the ornament reception, as we call it, will be Thursday, November 7th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Light refreshments, no charge.
Is that right at Colosi's?
Right at Colosi's in New Hartford,
yeah,
yes.
Okay. Good.
So that's going to be our first of those, and it's great. They're very, very good to us. We've had some other organizations like Oneida County History Center and Munson Williams and others that have sold our ornament and all, but it gets very difficult for people to make sure that it's all stocked and mm-hmm. all. So Colosi's will be our exclusive vendor. And
it's going to go on sale at the reception for the first time, Mike?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you said you're going to do one more after that?
We're going to do one more, and that'll be number 3, Rutger Park, and it'll be actually to celebrate the 200th anniversary, if you can believe that, of the original foundation of number 3 and the wall that's out in front. When you see the wall
yep.
out in front,
mm-hmm.
next year that'll be 200 years that they built that and the foundation for number 3. Mm-hmm. Now, number 3 sat there with only the foundation for another 10 years until the building was actually built in 1830.
The collection of Christmas ornaments, are there still others from past years available?
There are. Some of them we sold out right away, like Hotel Utica, the Stanley, Union Station, but there are still quite a few of the other ones. I believe we have Whitestown Town Hall, which is the only one outside of Utica that we've done. Several others mm-hmm. that we have available. The schools, Proctor High School, I believe, and St. Elizabeth's Hospital.
Utica Memorial Auditorium, you did too, didn't you?
I think that may have sold out, but yes, we did that mm-hmm. as a modern landmark.
Yeah, and as long as you mention modern landmarks, let's talk about that a little bit. What would be considered Utica Memorial Auditorium a modern landmark? What else would you consider a modern landmark?
Munson Williams Art Center is definitely a modern landmark. That was designed by Philip Johnson, and that's over 50 years old now. Mm-hmm. So that, and it's a lot of the structure that has to do with the modern landmark, as with the auditorium.
Right. That's a very unique roof.
The cable roof and all that, which actually served as a model for Madison Square Garden. So that number 7 Rutger Park is a modern landmark, I think, too, with the cantilevers and all that. It's a dramatically interesting building.
Where the Teamsters were originally, yes?
Yes,
mm-hmm.
yes. And that's, as far as I know, it's fully occupied as well, so that's a great addition to the city. Mm-hmm. And I would have to say that after the renovations are completed, that the Bank of Utica would be a modern landmark as well. Mm-hmm. Again, that wasn't a historic restoration, but it was bringing the building into the new century and all that, and actually making it an icon in probably the same way that the Savings Bank was originally seen as a iconic landmark and all with the gold dome.
Yeah, and when you look at the skyline, if you're on the arterial and looking off to the Utica skyline, now that's part of the skyline,
It is,
like
very
the Gold
much so.
Dome Bank was for
Very
many
much
years.
so, very much so. I mean, your eye is drawn to it, the way the tower is lit and all, and I find it to be very beautiful.
Yeah, the landmarks that we've lost over the years could fill a book.
Oh, absolutely.
When you talk about Rutgers Street, I think of the Armory
Yes.
that used to be on. But I just thought that was a great looking building.
Armories are very unique buildings, and I don't really remember the building, but I've seen pictures of it. Yes, it was a striking building.
Yeah, and there was a resemblance to it was much smaller, and it was on the south side of Rutger at the corner of Steuben Street. And there's an apartment building there
Yes.
now. But it had that castle-like look
Yes,
to it.
very much so.
Yeah, like the one on Culver Ave. Much bigger, but reminds me of that.
And I think that's what they were shooting for, this sort of a castle fortress type of structure.
Yeah, and I guess I don't think we'd get too much of an argument about this, Mike. The really big landmark that we lost in Utica back, I guess it was in the 70s, was Utica City Hall.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sometimes buildings aren't appreciated when they're here, but they're lamented when they're gone. And I think that's a classic example of it. And I really think that Utica City Hall and even the tower, because the tower actually stood, I believe, for a while after City Hall was demolished, both of those together were kind of the bellwether for preservation in Utica. I think after that, it helped to lead to saving Union Station and Old Main and many others that were saved over the years.
Was that Richard Upjohn that
Yes.
designed Utica City Hall? And I
Yes.
remember that the tower was still standing after they tore down the City Hall, and they said, "Well, we got to tear down the tower because it's unstable." Then they couldn't tear it down.
Couldn't knock it down, kind
Yeah.
of like the halfway bridge. They couldn't take it
Yeah,
down.
yeah. When we come back, let's talk about that other landmark that you just mentioned, Union Station. Michael Bozak's our guest. We're talking about Utica area landmarks and their holiday stuff. Short break, right back.